Hey, Peter, on this auspicious day here on the boat, I noticed that there's some timber been delivered. Can you fill us in a bit more where it's from and what it's for?
Yeah, today's been a really significant day. We're undertaking a preservation exercise on the ship rather than a restoration, but a decision was taken by the board that we would do a complete restoration of the Saloon Deck,
Right.
which has the first class cabins. We did a fundraising appeal online and raised the necessary money to buy timber. And while we've been waiting on the timber, volunteers have cleaned up the ironwork and prepared the ironwork for the frames. That's now been done in one large section of the Saloon Deck. The timber that arrived today has been brought in from New Zealand, and it's the right sort of timber we need to do repairs to the Saloon Deck in conjunction with existing old timber. So there's just not enough current timber to do the job. So this has been imported from New Zealand, and we'll repair the Saloon Deck, which is the first stage of doing a full restoration of the Saloon Deck with its passenger cabins and captain's quarters.
So is there any specific date been set aside, when it's going to be completed by?
We'd all like it to be done by yesterday, but in reality, I would imagine that the Saloon Deck will be completed by the end of 2018, if I'm being realistic. Perhaps a few months earlier than the end of the year. And then, of course, as soon as that's done, we can then start the work on putting replica cabins in place.
Right. So how many cabins are you talking about at this time?
There were 14 cabins in the first class area, 6 either side and 2 at the stern, which were generally used by the captain. We now have the funds through a donation for what we use for the captain's quarters.
Oh, that's good.
And a building firm in Adelaide, Harrow & Kite, have offered to do the other cabins for us. And so once this deck is laid, which is why it's so important, the timber that's arrived today is now here.
Yep.
We can start doing the work on laying that, laying the timber onto that, create that deck. And that's the first major step now going forward since we conducted the fundraising appeal to buy the timber.
Right. I'll be honest, walking around, I have noticed a lot of scaffold lying around. Is that in preparation for doing something on the outside?
Currently we have one entry and exit point to the ship. What the scaffolding will do is enable us to build a second walkway on the opposite side of the ship, and that'll give us 2 entries and exits.
Yes.
It'll increase our flexibility dramatically in terms of getting tours through the ship. It'll increase the overall safety level, which we'd like to do, of course, and the scaffolding might also enable us to do some external repairs to the bow of the ship,
Right.
which require access to a higher level.
Yes. Okay, right. Thank you very much.